She was only 18 years old, young, beautiful, and full of a faith so pure it could move mountains. On her first Sunday at a sprawling megachurch, she sat quietly at the back, holding her Bible tightly, believing she had finally found a place of safety. She believed the church was where broken people came to heal, where God's voice was louder than any human desire. She had no idea that this place, this sanctuary, would change her life forever. Her voice was noticed almost immediately as she sang from the back of the church. Her notes were soft, yet powerful and pure. The choir director heard the gift in her voice and invited her to join. Singing became her joy. Worship became her purpose. The choir traveled often with the pastor, a whirlwind of cities and churches, spreading the gospel across the country. To the girl, it felt like a dream come true. The pastor was a powerful man, charismatic, respected by thousands. A married man with 2 boys and a girl. He preached about holiness, purity, and obedience. People trusted him with their lives, their families, and their deepest secrets. He was a pillar of the community, a man they believed was chosen by God. Then, on a trip back from one of the countries the choir visited, the girl realized something was wrong. She went to a hospital, hoping for answers. The doctor smiled and told her she was perfectly fine. Her body felt different. A sense of unease settled in her heart. In fact, he had good news. She was expecting a child. The words hit her like a physical blow. The pregnancy wasn't showing yet, but the truth was undeniable. She was carrying a child. She couldn't hide from her parents anymore. The secret was too heavy to carry alone. When she told them, their world shattered. A child that belonged to the pastor. Only 2 people in the entire world knew the truth, herself and him. She was terrified, ashamed, lost. They were furious, heartbroken, and determined to seek justice. They told the pastor they were going to expose him, to report him to the National Council of Church Fathers. When the pastor found out, panic set in. He tried to manipulate the girl, to twist her reality. But something had shifted in her. She was no longer just a naive girl. She was a mother protecting her child. She was bold and fearless. He reminded her that he was married, that his own children were her age. He warned her that the church, their ministry, would be destroyed if the truth came out. He pleaded for her silence, not for her well-being, but for his reputation. 2 days later, the girl's parents summoned the church elders, along with the pastor himself. These were the men and women trusted to protect the flock. In that cold, sterile meeting room, they spoke at length. Not once did they ask how she was coping. Not once did they ask what she wanted or what she needed. It was in that moment, surrounded by the silent judgment of the righteous, that she learned the devastating truth. She was not the first. Other choir girls, other young women in the church, had suffered the same fate. Some were pressured into terminating their pregnancies. Others were paid into silence, their voices bought and buried. Families were given millions of dollars to make the problem disappear. But this girl, this 18-year-old girl with a fire in her soul, refused. She refused to be another secret. She refused to pretend it never happened. The silence wasn't an accident. It was a carefully constructed fortress, built to protect the powerful. And that decision sealed her fate. The elders offered her money. Her family was paid millions, not as a gesture of support, but as the price for their silence. She was told to leave, to take the money, and start a new life far away, where no one would ask questions. So, she left for the United States. And after that, she vanished. No calls, no social media, no sightings. The church never mentioned her name again. It was as if she had never existed. The pastor continued preaching from his pulpit every Sunday. The choir continued singing their hymns of praise. The congregation continued attending, smiling, clapping, and raising their hands in worship. And life went on, as if nothing had ever happened. The girl vowed she would come back for the pastor. And after 5 long years of silence, she did. And faith should never, ever be used as a weapon to destroy lives. Because silence does not mean innocence. Power does not mean righteousness. Her return was not just for her own justice. It was for every voice that had been silenced. Her testimony opened the floodgates. The cases of more than 10 other choir members and women from the church were opened. The fortress of lies began to crumble. The pastor was arrested and finally faced the consequences of his actions, serving years in prison for his crimes. Your voice could be the one that brings the darkness into the light. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe for more stories that need to be told.